Alrighty, so now it is recording. So, what's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and here we are with the Texas CBD Fair and Market, and I have a special guest with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Sabrina. On my Instagram, you can follow me at Sab_Soul47. So yeah, my name's Sabrina. I usually go by Sab, S-A-B. So yeah, that's me. What's up?
Sab. So, okay, so goodness gracious. So, things are starting to open up. You know, I've seen retail stores. I think some places, the movie theaters are starting to open up, but it's like, you know, less than 50% capacity, 25% capacity. And then you got to sit, you know, two or so things away from people. So it's going to be interesting. So how have you felt since this all happened? Like, how have you been navigating through it?
Well, I mean, pretty much, I like to say to myself initially, so um, I usually I usually try to stick to the path of just working on myself, and I like to meditate and do things like that. So I feel like I've been able to navigate it pretty well, just like I said, with meditating and trying to stay calm and having my mind clear. And also too, because I do know other individuals that might be taking it pretty hard in this point in time. So I like to stay strong for my family.
Yeah.
So I've been staying strong, and I've been staying really positive through everything, and just trying to spread the love, trying to spread the positivity to my family, to my people, and just everyone pretty much. So yeah, I feel like I've been making it through okay.
You know, that's super dope because it's like, you know, that's the one thing that I've had conversations with people about is that, you know, some of us are super introverts. Like we're like
Yeah,
on hermit mode 24/7, you know, and we're
yeah,
just all like, oh, this is actually what I'm used to.
right. I'm like, finally they get it now.
Right, you know, but um there's something that this made me think, like I'm not sure, I'm not 100% for sure, but does this feel like another moment? Like, I don't know, like I know we haven't had this specific moment as far as like with all this going down with the lockdowns and stuff, but does it feel like a moment from the past? Like, can you think of anything like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20? Like, it doesn't even have to be like pandemic, so to speak, but just feeling wise. You know, everyone's just like in this really interesting state. Like, you know, even me and my dad was seeing today, like a lot of people is just really weird and aggressive. Like, it's not even this, it's not so much as people doing stuff like road rage or anything like that. It's just what they're doing. It's almost like they're just not there.
Right. Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. But honestly, like, I'm just looking at this like it's really like a shift. I've never really witnessed or experienced or even really seen anything like this. And I really, I try to stay calm in all aspects just because, we deal with so much inner work, and, it's usually just a battle, sometimes just trying to maneuver through life initially. So, I mean, as far as what my eyes have seen, and, what I have felt as as of lately, I just feel like it's a shift because honestly, like, I know like everyone was saying, the stores are crazy, everything's crazy. But when I go out and I'm actually kind of watching how people are acting, I feel like everyone just seems more compassionate and friendly. somehow, you know, like,
Yeah.
or that's just what I've came across. So I mean, and honestly, I've never really seen anything like this. Like, I've seen people, like, communities that actually try to unite. And like me, I'm from a small town. I'm from Seguin, Texas. So initially, you know, I've never, the people in my town normally don't come together. But I mean, as of lately, you know, people are trying to help others and,
Yeah.
you know, trying to help people with just food and water and you know, just trying to help others with their needs. So I mean, honestly, it's a double-edged sword. I know it's, you know, it is crazy times right now, but I just like to focus on the positive. So I've seen some good things. Like, I've seen people actually take a step back and reflect. And you know, as far as just normal citizens or whatever just passing by each other, like, people actually wave and say hi or say, you know, how are you doing today? Like, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of, it is very interesting. It is very interesting. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that's very true. You know, like I've been, you know, it's very interesting because, you know, we there's always this interesting chaos that's going on, you know, and it's like being able to mold that chaos into, you know, something positive, because it's just all like when you go searching for either or, you're gonna find it, you know. So it's the same way that, you know, a lot of people, they keep on clicking on, you know, COVID stuff, you know, they're going to keep on getting COVID stuff. But there's a
Right.
lot of other things that are going on. You know, there's, I know you watch Black Magic 363, and
Oh yeah.
I've been watching a good couple of those, but I was, in particular, recently I had watched some, it was, a Billy Carson episode, and he was talking about Colloidal Silver. And I went and got some Colloidal Silver. Unfortunately, I didn't get it from him, even though his prices were good. Anybody who wants to get some, you know, Colloidal Silver and find out more about it, check out Black Magic 363. I'll probably have that video link. What was very interesting about that was the fact that a lot of people don't realize, like, Billy Carson is like 64 years old. I'm just all like,
What?
yo, yes, he's 60. If you
Are
go,
you
I'm
serious?
so serious. It's a
I
trip.
thought he was younger than me.
He's freaking 64 years old. I'm
Whoa.
like, what in the world? I'm just all like, I'm chugging the Kaleido Silver, like, all right, you know, black don't crack, like I'm about
Wow. All right.
to. But you know,
Yeah.
it's, I saw that, and then I recently saw a video was Brother Rich, Red Pill, and another cat, and there was this Magic Money ebook that Brother Rich was sending out, and so I got that, and you know, a lot of it was talking about, you know, intention, and it was talking about, you know, the laws of reciprocity and giving, you know, as far as being able to get back in return, you know, especially when we look at finances. You know, one of the things that they were saying was that an action without a compass is a waste of effort, you know. And it's just all
Mm,
like, you know, when you don't have direction, and I know
right.
during this time it could be kind of hard, but it's like we have that inner compass, we have that inner direction. And
Yep.
so right now, what has your inner direction been pulling you towards, as far as like book wise, or you know, something to watch? Because this is going to get into what I really want the people to hear from you about, which is this awesome opportunity. But
Mhm.
you know, leading into that, what's something that, you know, your inner compass is like, you know, bringing you towards?
Well, you know, I just take that as my intuition, you know, and it's really crazy because up until this time, I felt like I really didn't have any direction. You know,
Mhm.
I was I was trying to figure out, you know, which way to go. I was always, you know, trying to branch out and try different avenues, but I mean, and that's just like I said, it's a shift. So consciously, I am shifting my spirit and everything is shifting. And so my intuition is just telling me to just do it, just go for it, just do whatever I've been desiring to do, which is, just find my purpose and just to let go. So that's what I would say. My intuition is telling me to let go of everything that I've held on to up until this time. And, whether that's my 9 to 5 or whether that's certain people in my life, we don't vibe on the same frequency, or just everything of that nature. Like I said, everything from the past, just to let go. Because, if we continue to hold on to the past, there's no growth in that.
Yeah.
And that's what causes anxiety and, depression and everything like that, when we can't let go and just let things be. So, and like I was saying before, that was my constant battle, is holding on to things that, you know, are better left being let go of, it's better to let go of the past. So that's a really awesome question, because yes, my intuition and my direction is just saying, let go of what you thought you knew, let go of just everything, and just surrender, surrender to the universe, to, you know, just, things like that.
Oh yeah, no, I think what it reminds me of is not necessarily the original Frankenstein, because like I've read some of the original Frankenstein book and it's super fire. It's like completely different than what how they portray Frankenstein. But
Mm,
there's this time, whether in relationships or in opportunities or different things like that, where it goes through its course. And I don't know if we're just the creatures of that just love the past or something like that, but it's like
right.
we resurrect it, even though it's gone,
Yes,
and we'll resurrect it, and it ends up being a monster. It ends up being
that's
worse
true.
than what it was originally, and you could have let it be. Like you could have just like let it be, but you're just like, you know what? Let me go ahead and resurrect this stuff and see if
That's
we can make
true.
some changes. But what I realize is that you know within that the letting go aspect, you know just based on your experience, why do you think that it's so difficult to let go of the things that we need to let go of?
Well, because we create an emotional attachment to things, like, for instance, we want to heal ourselves, and I think healing really means like fix. We want to fix ourselves. So I think everything that comes across our path that is broken, we always want to try to fix it, and so we create an emotional attachment to it, and we hold on to that. And so, just like you said, we'll let it go, and then we'll come back and resurrect it. Because why? Because we feel like we're elevating and evolving to a point, like, you know what, let me go back and try to, patch this up or do this and that. But it's because we have that emotional attachment, and, you know, attachment is the root of all suffering, or that's just what I've read in books. That's what, I've heard from different motivational speakers and different, gurus, in a sense. So yeah, we grow an attachment, and we hold on. We just hold on to everything. And, you know, we even hold on to things that we aren't even conscious about, and I think it's really just all, our subconscious, that there's something locked in there that's telling us, it's our paradigms that's telling us, like, you can't move forward until you patch this up, or you can't move forward until. But, it's just, we're just creating attachments. And yeah, and that is really hard to break through. um, because we can be attached to to our old life. You know, we could be attached to an old way of thinking and attached to old habits, and you know, so yeah, I think that's the battle. You know, just trying to let go and realizing that you just have to move forward. You have to, you know, just let go of the old ways of thinking, so that way you can really elevate and evolve. But you know, so there are just so many different walks of life. So some people love the attachment. You know, some people love to stay stagnant, or you know, whatever you want to call it. But that's where, you know, that's, it is definitely hard. It is definitely hard. And I mean, I'm not even saying I'm 100%, you know, uh, this completely enlightened being, but you know, I have learned to shift my paradigm. So that's helped with letting go of everything.
Yeah. I don't know. People might see this video and be like, "Yo, she radiant over there. She's
Right? Yeah.
she's sitting up
No,
there."
I'm just, you know, just speaking from the heart. So yeah,
No, it's interesting because it makes me think of like assignments in school, especially like tests, you know, and we'll take a test, and in life it's almost like that test where we'll take it, and let's say we got like a 65 on that test. Like sometimes it'd be like, okay, you can get like extra credit, but sometimes like you just have to like stay with that grade, because the thing is that I realized why a lot of times they will not have you retest the same test, you know, because the thing is that what's the point of giving you the exact same test when if you know the answers that you got wrong, you know, it's
right,
you're just going to be able to, and you know, go through the test, you know, as far as taking it again. So but that's not to say that there aren't more tests, you know, you're not going to have that one test throughout the year, but it's like sometimes we'll attach and make it seem like it is going to be that one test, or maybe we like that one subject and we're just all like, oh man, like I will redo this as many times as I, you know, want to or
yep,
whatever. And it just
yep,
leaves us in this state of, there's like this app that I have called CoStar, and one of the things that it was saying was, in order to go to the path of healing, you have to leave the path of destruction behind. And sometimes there's this door, and we'll try to fit healing and destruction through that door at the same time. And
yep,
it doesn't work. You know, it's just all
yep,
like, you know, how are you going to do that? You know, so what I
yeah,
want people to know, because I think you're a super interesting person. So let people know like your like kind of like come up, because you have like a kind of origin story in music, you know, and moving into what it is that you're doing now. So let people kind of know like your little origin story.
well, I mean, well, my origin story, well, I mean, you know, I come from a family, you know, I'm a single mom. You know, I got to watch certain relationships play out, and you know, I think I've always had to be, I've always had to be strong, and I've always kind of had to be like a, a therapist in a sense, because, or not even had to, you know, I don't have to do anything. It's just my heart, you know. So I always wanted to make things easier for my parents, and shoot, even now to this day, I find myself giving them advice, and they, you know, I know I shock my parents by the things that I say to them, and they're probably thinking like, "Girl, if you were 10 years old, I would have smacked you in the mouth." but but no, like, you know, I think I've always just been an observer. So I stayed silent for a long time, you know, and I just watched everything, and I absorbed everything, and uh, just I was always just trying to figure things out, you know, and up until now, I realized that, you know, we really don't have to figure anything out. We'll never figure it all out. So yeah, I've always just been an observer. I've always absorbed my surroundings, which I realize now, you know, we have to learn at a young age to shield ourselves and to not let our surroundings and our environment affect, you know, the person that we become. So, so yeah, I've I've learned to kind of channel that. I've learned to find my voice. Like I said, I was silent for a long time. I had a problem with communicating, you know, certain things of that nature. And so obviously now I can speak confidently, you know, and um, so yeah, I mean, just like everyone's path, it's just all about growth and, you know, finding out who you are and things of that nature. So yeah, I've taken everything that I've watched and that I've seen, and you know, I've learned from every experience, still learning from experiences, but just learning from everyone who comes into my life, you know, um, whether it be, you know, a bad experience or a good experience. Uh, we just have to learn from everything. Learn from everything. You kind of have to sit back and just analyze and reflect. That I did a lot of reflecting over the years. Shoot, you know, so much reflecting, and you know, I've always just wanted to be a better person. I've always just strived to inspire people, and you know, I was always inspired by motivational speakers. I remember that as a little girl, um, because there are certain instances where the teachers would bring in, you know, someone outside of the curriculum, you know, and they can come in and speak their piece and, you know, plant that seed in the children's brain. So seed was definitely planted as a young child, to want to be a speaker and to want to just grab people's attention and just to kind of give inspiration, you know. And so yeah, I would definitely say that's my backstory. Like just observing, reflecting, watching, taking everything in, you know, breaking down, building back up, finding my strength. You know, I'm very empathetic. So, you know, I'm 30 years old now. So along, you know, over these years, I've just kind of learned how to channel my empathy and realize that it's actually my strength, you know, and you know, we have to send positivity through will, you know, and not necessarily be so sympathetic and, you know, and you know, wish that things get better. You have to will for things to get better, and you can only will for things to get better if you give that out, if you give out your strength, you know. So yeah, that's definitely what I would say.
No, this is a super dope origin story. I think that, you know, observation, that's one of the things that I love being able to do, because it's just all like, you know, but what I had to learn though is that, you know, after a while I'm just like, okay, you have to participate. You know, like
Right.
after all the observation, it's just all like, okay, now you got
Definitely.
to participate, because there's so much, like this doesn't end. You know, the more and
Exactly.
more, you know, like that, you're just like, oh man, I came across a nugget. Where guess what? There's like a whole unlimited pack of nuggets, like ready.
Yeah, I've been through that a lot. Yep,
You know,
that's true.
and it's super interesting, because it's like through that observation, through all of this, you know, you're right, like the will, that's like the missing ingredient through a lot of people's, you know, success, is
Yeah,
that it is that will, you know, to keep on going, you know. It will test you. Like there's some stuff where it's just all like, oh yeah, you've been pushing at this for a cool 20 years and you feel like
yep,
you're not going nowhere, and it's just like instantly, you know, like
yep,
as far it may feel instantly, but it was never instantly. It was that 20 years of work that it was meant for you to get at this time. You know, that's why, like, when it comes to a lot of these things, you know, I stay patient with myself, because there are things that
Exactly.
take time, you know,
Yes.
to be able to build something substantial. You know, a lot of people, they want to have legacy, but thinking that you're gonna do one thing, or one day's work of something to last you a lifetime. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like it does not work like that,
Doesn't
you
work
know.
like that.
And you know what I realized, for some people, let me say this: there are some people, depending on the way that you're configured in this world, where you could just like make stuff happen, you know. And human design, they're called manifestors. That is
Yep.
just their particular way of doing things. But that's not everybody. You know, there's
Right.
other
Right.
ways of, you know, that it's supposed to play out that way.
Yeah.
And you know, it's very dope. It's very dope. So what I want people to know is that currently you are working on something super awesome, and you're very passionate about it, because like, hey, I'm gonna let y'all know, everybody, like she sold me. Like I'm gonna be there pretty darn soon, but like she sold me on this. It sounds pretty amazing, you know. And anybody who, you know, is passionate about something, like, you're able to feel it. And usually people are very passionate about stuff that, you know, as you've heard Sabrina say, like, you know, it's helping people, you know. And so let the people know, what is it that you're currently working on in this opportunity that people might be interested in?
Most definitely. So I currently I'm currently working in the Forex market. Now, Forex is just short for the foreign exchange market. And I mean, I would say about 3% of the population know that, you know, this is actually something that everyone can partake in. Everyone, absolutely, everyone can do it. Um, but initially, you know, if you were someone who has traveled to another country, then you know exactly what the foreign exchange market is, because you have to, it's pretty much the exchange in currencies, you know. So when you get to another country, you have to you can't use the US dollar in another country. So you have to exchange your US dollar at the exchange booth at the airport in another country. You have to exchange your money for their currency, you know, the type of currency that they use. For example, if you go to France, you know, you have to change, or Paris, you have to exchange the US dollar for the euro. So what's so great about technology, and you know, obviously we're in 2020, so we just have to understand how advanced everything is nowadays, you know. Um, so being that we're constantly advancing as a society and in technology, they have now made that accessible through our cell phones. So you can actually partake in the foreign exchange market. You don't have to travel. You don't have to get in an airplane and fly across the country. You can exchange currencies on your phone. They've made it accessible on an app called the MetaTrader 4 app. So I embarked on this new journey. I've been trading in the foreign exchange market for about 4 months now, and it exactly what Mr. Composition said. It is life changing. It's a wonderful, great opportunity, especially now, uh, especially with everything that's going on now, because the foreign exchange market is the largest market in the world. It's a $7.7 trillion market. So that being said, it's 100% recession proof. So when things happen, like an economic decline, pretty much what's going on now, you know, Forex is actually thriving. It's actually thriving in this point in time right now, because like I said, it's recession proof. It's the largest market in the world. So um, there's a lot of individuals who are capitalizing in this market and actually learning how to multiply their money you know. So it's very detrimental in this day and age, being that the fact that there are a lot of people who are unable to work at this point in time. And I know there are a lot of families that have to be kept up with, there's everything, expenses, everything that you can think of, money rules the world, point blank, period. No matter how much we try to hope that it doesn't. But I mean, we have to change the ideology we have about money. I used to have a negative way of thinking about money. And I realized that, hey, maybe that's why I continue to struggle financially all these years. But actually, in all actuality, I like to save money. So, I just, being the fact that I've saved money up until this point, I decided to invest. And, I think any investment, if your intuition tells you, because your intuition will not lie to you, as we were just talking about earlier. If your intuition tells you to go ahead and jump for it and do it, it will not lie to you. And so that's exactly what I did. And typically when you make an investment through your intuition, you're literally like investing in yourself. So yeah, and that's another thing that I've learned. I'm learning about finances. I'm learning about the market. I'm learning about things that I never even knew about ever, and that's probably why I had a bad ideology about it, or whatever you want to call it, just because I never knew nothing about this. I never knew nothing about money. I grew up, poor Mexican family, so, which I'm proud of. I'm proud of everything. I'm proud of my people. I'm proud of the journey. I'm proud of everything. But not to go off subject, I've invested, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I literally feel myself thriving. So yes, Forex is the next big thing. And, I appreciate Mr. Conversation for letting me come on here and kind of explain this opportunity, because that's truly our main goal, is to just make an impact and inform people about this, so that way, you guys won't have to struggle. So people won't have to worry about what they're going to do, especially what's going on now, so that's, yeah, that's what Forex is. It's the exchange and currency pairs. So what we do is we trade. So I'm learning about the market, and I'm learning about buys and sells. And, these are all things that are very new to me. But I love a challenge, and I love to grow mentally. So I took the opportunity with my arms wide open, with my eyes open, with an open mind. And, it's all about the effort you put into it. So you'll definitely reap the benefits from that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what's very interesting. Because you brought up at the end as far as the mental aspect of it. Let people know why it's so important, um, throughout everything, but especially in Forex, why it's important to cultivate that mental foundation.
Well, first of all, and what I've learned is that if you want to be successful in anything in life, it all has to be mental. You have to believe, you have to set your goals, and you have to believe that those goals are going to be met. So that being said, like I said, in anything success, it's all mental. So it's the same with your finances. It's the same with trading. When you're trading and you're entering the market, and you're putting in your money into this, you have to be patient, and you have to be disciplined. So me learning how to trade, it's rolling over to my personal life. I'm learning how to be patient in life. I'm learning how to be disciplined in life with my actions and my movements and my routine. And I'm learning how to have that strong mentality, because we can't be attached to anything. We just have to, it's best to be connected. And I'm learning all of this. I'm literally, everything that I'm speaking about right now, I've learned through being a part of Forex. And I'm learning that because I am trading with the team. And my team, the team turns into family. And we, it's a great community. It's a great learning community. And the number one thing that my team pushes for us to do is personal development. You can't grow anywhere in life without personal development. So if you want to grow in this business, I want to grow in this business, I have to check myself. I have to be patient. I have to be disciplined, whether it's watching the markets, whether it's dealing with certain things, certain aspects in life. So definitely I'm learning about spirituality and how much that has a part to do with with uh, with success, and also with trading. Anything you do in life, anything you do in life. So yes, your mental state, you know the way you think and your mindset, that has everything to do with your success. So I've absolutely, that's one of the major things that I have learned while trading.
And for people that have heard the word trading before, and we're not talking about Pokemon cards, people. It's explain to the people the difference between stocks and foreign exchange, because there's a lot of people that got into stocks recently because of like apps like Robinhood, and
Mhm.
different things like that. But explain to people who you know are getting into stocks, because to me they're both long-term investments, but for me I feel like forex is more of a immediate return versus stocks. You're
Right.
kind of like, you sit there, you can watch it kind of disappear for a couple of years or something like that, and maybe it
Mhm.
might have came up or something like that. But explain to people, as far as especially for the payout, because a lot of people during this time, they can't wait,
Right.
and with something like forex, when I'm hearing stories from the people that you sent me, and you have a guy who's just all like, I got into it, a little less than a month, I was able to pull out, the 500 for my rent, so explain to people, that difference between the forex life versus the stock life.
Right. Well, um, from my knowledge, stocks, I want to say the market pretty much moves in one direction. Um, and that one direction is, if the stocks rise, then obviously your investments will rise. But if the stocks don't do so well and the stocks plummet, then that means that all of your investment plummets as well. Now, with Forex, we're able to capitalize whether the market is a buy or a sell, right? Because the thing is when we're reading the markets, we're able to analyze and see if it's going to buy or sell. And all we have to do is set certain parameters. And depending on, your risk management and how much money you're willing to risk, which, as I was saying, we are very disciplined in our movements and how much we do risk. So we make it a point to we figure out the risk reward ratio. And so, like I said, either way, if it's a buy or a sell, we're able to capitalize on that. And the fact that currency pairs and the rates fluctuate every single second, that's every single second you could be earning money. And the market is open, the Forex market is open, um, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And so in that time, you can make money every single second as long as you know how to analyze, which that's something we're learning, or I am learning. And, as long as you know how to analyze, and as long as you're disciplined and patient, and you you just pay attention to the leaders and everything like that, like, you know, we're able to capitalize whether it's a buy or a sell. And that's how people are able to multiply their money very quickly, because it's a win-win scenario. It's a win-win ratio. As long as, you know, obviously nothing is 100%, you know, but if you become an expert at something, you know which moves to make. And the thing is we have experts behind us telling us, you know, the ins and outs, guiding us along the journey, telling us which direction it takes. So yeah, there's multiple reasons why people are able to multiply their money so quickly in the market. Um, but the number one thing is, whether it's a buyer or a sell, we can still profit off of that.
Oh yeah, and that's what's super cool. Like I love being able to hear these multiple options. And, you know, the one thing that a lot of people will tell you when it comes to whether wealth or success or, you know, legacy or, you know, these different things like that, is that it's the information, like it's the knowledge. And a lot of times, especially for people of color, that not that knowledge, that information, you know, we just were given. So if you don't know, you know, of course you're going to
Right.
keep on going in circles, you know, keep on doing these particular type of things. So that's why I definitely wanted to bring you on, so that way, you know, let people know, like, you know, these different options. And so, you know,
Exactly.
me, I know me and you could make this a like 5 hour, you know, podcast, but you know, I do I want to go ahead and end it here and allow
For sure.
people to actually reach out to you. So let the people know where they can find you online, and how they can hit you up regarding this opportunity if they want to learn more.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram. So I go by Sab, SAB underscore soul, SOUL 47. Sab underscore soul 47. And pretty much that's where you can connect with me. That's the platform that I'm utilizing to inform the people about this beautiful opportunity. And we can exchange numbers, you know, we can get you on the phone. I can go over everything in detail. Whoever is seriously interested in, you know, taking this opportunity. And you know, my heart is open, my ears are open, even if you just need someone to conversate with and just kind of talk things out and figure out why this is the best thing for you to do. We can figure that out. So yes, Sab underscore soul on Instagram. That's really my main platform that I use to spread the word. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Speaking of soul, did you see Janae Echo and new video featured Absol?
I haven't got a chance to see it yet. I just have been so caught up in, you know, all of this, but I'm definitely gonna check it out. I need to check it out ASAP. I saw little clips of it, but shout
Uh,
out Absol, my big bro.
Heck yeah. And so what I like to do is I like to, every guest that I have on, especially during this time, I like for them to be able to leave the people with some words of encouragement during this time. So if you can just let the people, you know, give the people some words to help them through, or to help them, you know, with progressing during this time.
Most definitely. I would just say, words of encouragement. There's so many things I could say with all of this crazy things going on at this point in time. Um, but I would just say, you know, just to stay positive, um, and not to let, you know, like I said before, our society and our surroundings and maybe the news or, you know, anything negative kind of just control us. One thing that has helped me tremendously is not only meditating but repeating affirmations. You know, So whenever you repeat an affirmation, you always want to say, I am before it. I am so happy and grateful now that, and just speak what you want. You have to speak things into existence. So that's the way that I'm on, just speaking things into existence, believing in yourself. Do what you have to do to heal. Let go of things that kind of been holding you back, and just follow your intuition, follow your gut, and most importantly, just spread love. Just spread love. Just be positive. The minute you help someone else in their journey, that's the minute you forget about your own problems. And through helping others is how you heal yourself. So if there's one thing I want anyone to take away from this, just help others. Help others. Through helping others is how you can literally shift your own mindset, shift your perception, and literally just change. If you can change one person's life, if you can say one thing that'll change one single person's life, you have pretty much changed the whole entire world. So there you go.
Thank you so much, Sam. So
Thank you, Kevin.
yes, so thank you so much for being our guest. And it's it is midweek, but when you work for yourself, it's just all like, yo, you create your own schedule and whatnot. So
Exactly.
I just want to say enjoy the rest of your nights, and I will
Thank you.
definitely be talking to you soon.
Thanks. Have a good night.
All right, peace.
Thank you.